In a world full of takers, I'm done playing nice. Gave my heart to the wreckage, but they all roll the dice. Helping hands, they just spit, so I cut the string. Let them drown in the lessons, they don't want the sting. Let them die, let them burn. Watch the fire ignite. Let them go, let them burn. Watch the fire ignite. Let them go, let them learn on their own. You did what you had to, now let it be known. Stop feeling guilty, shine bright on your way. Those who belong will come back one day. Back one day. I've been full of the love and the nurture they seek, but tough love's a crown to the weak and the meek. Flip the switch, now I'm walking away from the grind. I'm paving my path, leave them lost if they're blind. It's not my job to carry, let them stand tall. Let them go, let them burn, watch the fire ignite. Let them go, let them learn on their own. You did what you had to, now let it be known. Stop feeling guilty, shine bright on your way. Those who belong will come back one day. It's my job to carry, let them stand tall. Let them go, let them learn on their own. You did what you had to, now let it be known. Stop feeling guilty, shine bright on your way. Those who belong will come back one day. So walk on by, let them face their own plight. This season's for you, go ahead, claim your life. Oh, 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 let you learn on their own, on their own. Go back one day. Oh, oh. One day. Let them go, let them go, let them learn on their own. You did what you had to, now let it be known. Stop feeling guilty, shine bright on your way. Those who belong will come back one day. Come back one day. Come back one day. They'll learn on their own, on their own. On their own. Don't go back one day. Don't go back one day.
Yo, living in this chaos, I can see it clear. People slacking off, yo, I can feel the fear. Trying to make it big, but they just playing games. While I'm busting my ass, they just chasing fame. What's the point of grinding if you don't hold it down? Hear me out, we gotta get it right. No more lazy walks, we gotta reignite. Rise above the noise, push through the pain. Don't let the streets slip, let's break those chains. Got my eyes on the prize, but it's looking real grim. When you ask for the truth, they pretend it's a whim. Success ain't a joke, man, it's blood, sweat, and tears. So why you out here fronting, drowning in your fears? We all want the glory, but do we want the grind? Hear me out, we gotta get it right. No more lazy walks, we gotta reignite. Rise above the noise, push through the pain. Don't let the streets slip, let's break those chains. So step up, don't fall back, let's do what's true. If we really want it, it starts with me and you. Yo, living in this chaos, I can see it clear. People slacking off, yo, I can feel the fear. Trying to make it big, but they just playing games. While I'm busting my ass, they just chasing fame. What's the point of grinding if you don't hold it down? Hear me out, we gotta get it right. No more lazy walks, we gotta reignite. Rise above the noise, push through the pain. Don't let the streets slip, let's break those chains. But let's break those chains. Let's break those chains. Let's break those chains. Let's break those chains. Got my eyes on the prize, but it's looking real grim. When you ask for the truth, they pretend it's a whim. Success ain't a joke. hope, man, it's blood, sweat, and tears. So why you out here fronting, drowning in your fears? We all want the glory, but do we want the grind? We want the glory, but do we want the grind? Yeah. So step up, don't fall back, let's do what's true. If we really want it, it starts with me and you. Yeah. So step up, don't fall back, let's do what's true. If we really want it.
Tech coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains. But trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How is everyone doing today? I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are, as always, Engineer to Win. Hopefully everyone is doing well. I got my guy in the building already. My guy Darcel says good afternoon, fam. Good afternoon to you as well, Darcel. Hopefully everything is going well in the ATL. And Darcel says the coach that we need. Thank you so much for your support, Darcel. I really, truly appreciate it, all right? So we are going to get into our show for today. We're going to be continuing to work on deploying the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data to Google Cloud Platform via Firebase. Last week, we ended up with setting up, we built our Docker container or Docker image for the API, and we also set up our database in Firebase, and we were trying to push up the image, but we had some issues with that, so we're going to continue with that today, and we're just going to go from there and see how we can figure it out. But you know how we do it here. You know how we do it here. But before we get any further, we have to get into our agenda for the show so I can let you know what's going to happen. So first and foremost, I just want to say a big thank you to all of the new subscribers, as well as those who have been with me for a very long time. Subscribers like Darcel, who is always so very supportive. Always proud of my guy Darcel. But shout out to all of the subscribers out there, those who who watch on the live streams and they're highly engaged in chatting with us, or those who watch from the clouds, those who are new, those who are old, whoever you may be. I really, really appreciate you all.
I appreciate you.
And I just want to say a big salute to all my tech savages out there. Those are my tech barbarians, my tech prodigy members, my technical explorers, all those members who are in the Patreon, who support me there and who I get to work with one-on-one to coach them up so that they can get to the next level. And I just have to say, I am so proud of all the people that I'm coaching one-on-one. And because I am seeing so much progress in such a short amount of time. One of my tech barbarians, just after a few months of coaching them, they started learning Docker and Node and all these different things to test really quickly, and it also helped them land a job. And they just finished their bachelor's and they're moving on to their master's. And they're just learning so much about the industry that they're in that the sky is the limit for them at this point. Like, we're at the point when I first started coaching somebody, right? I'm like, all right, let's set up some 20-year goals, right? And I set them so you can have a vision to work towards. And then now as they start making progress, they start seeing, okay, now let's see if our goals are going to change just a little bit. So I just want to say shout out to all of them. I have another one who they just finished up their resume. They have a lot of experience, but they just finished up their resume and now they're getting interviews after interviews after interviews. So I just want to say a big shout out to all the people that I coach one-on-one, and they are making so much progress. All right. And I want to say a big thank you and salute to all of my tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube supporters, the YouTube members. Thank you guys so much for keeping the channel going and growing as well. I really appreciate the support that you guys give. So thank you so much to you as well. And of course, shout out, a big shout out to the bag chasers out there.
Money.
And of course, I can never, ever forget, shout out to the tech pookies, to tech CEOs. Shout out to you guys.
Hey.
All right. So with that being said, do me a big favor on your end. If you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time that we go live and drop new content, as well as go to techcoachdrop.dev, because you can have the opportunity to work with me one-on-one, so I can help you just like I'm helping all of my other tech barbarians and my tech prodigy members, so that they can level up, they can develop the skills that they need, so that they can get their resume set up, and they can also prepare for interviews as well. Whenever interviews start coming up, all right, interview prep time, let's get to it. So that is techcoachdrop.dev. I also have I upload the sprint reviews that we do with the tech barbarians. What was that noise? The sprint reviews that we do. We do the Scrum night. We work on projects so you can actually build some valid experience. And I also have different videos and tips and stuff like that, how to set up your calendar properly, how to use LinkedIn, how to use Glassdoor, how to use AI effectively for your job search, all right? So that is techcoachdrop.dev. Do not hesitate. You can sign up for free and then you can upgrade later on if you feel the need to, all right? So like I said, techcoachdrop.dev. All right, perfect. So let's jump into our show schedule real quick. We have on Saturday mornings, we have the Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate show. That is where we review the weekly economic numbers, the numbers to watch for the week. We look at job numbers. We look at 12,000 jobs added in the last month. That is crazy, but we look at job numbers. We look at the CPI, PPI, so producer price index, consumer price index, how much things are actually costing you, how much is inflation actually affecting you. We look at the GDP, the gross domestic product. It's a not much of a technical show. It is a economic show, but we also try to break it down in an easy way for us to understand, especially for me to understand, because I was not really familiar with these numbers, but the more that I go through the show, the more I understand it. So, and we get a definite, that's what we use, like what we're going to be working on today. It's to support that show. The Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, it is to support that show. So you definitely want to tune into that show on Saturday mornings. It is co-hosted from the chat with Mitch and Yakar, all right? So, I don't know if Yakar is going to be here. He might be on a flight back he might be on a flight back home. He was in the ATL yesterday and this morning, but he might be back home. So I'm not sure if he's going to be here today. But nonetheless, You know, that's a show on Saturday mornings. Mitch and your car are with me and a lot of other people, and we are just understanding this stuff a lot better for ourselves and giving examples so that we can relate this information on why we should care about it, why it should be important to us. All right. So let's see. All right. So what else we have? We have our morning shows Mondays and Wednesdays at we start around 7:30, 7:45 a.m., where we are looking at some news stories, and then we're working on our time cost calculator, which we're going to be switching that soon after I finish with these last tests and the last deployment. We'll probably start working on something else next. And then we have Sunday afternoons. Today we have software exploration working on DevOps. And for today, like we were supposed to be getting into Kubernetes. However, I want to get this Urban Dictionary of Economic Data deployed. So we're going to be working on that today as well. Tuesday nights, we have our Q&A sessions where I have questions. You can call in, you can ask me questions from the chat, and I just try to answer all of your questions so that you can be well informed. And I answer like my thoughts on it, right? It might not be, people might disagree. People are free to disagree. And if you do disagree, I would love for you to call in so we can have that conversation. Or if you have just a question about anything, anything in tech, I'll be more than happy to answer that for you, right? That is on Tuesday nights. Thursday nights, we have more software explorations. We're actually working on building out the Urban Dictionary on Thursday nights, where we have our front end, we have our back end. Right now, we're working on building some additional methods for API, so we can be able to update definitions and delete definitions. We just finished the delete one. We're working on updating, and we're working on cleaning up, simplifying some of our API responses. So that is what we are working on our live streams. Right now, we also have some pre-recorded content. Mondays we have candid conversations. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about you need to let the fear go so that you can win. Wednesdays we have software explorations, concept and overviews. We're going to be talking about the front end full stack engineering job on this coming Wednesday. And then Fridays we have the bug bite, where I'm going to be talking about Pokemon. Yep, we're going to be talking about a Pokemon hack and release this coming Friday. That one is attributed to Yakar, who sent me that information. I am not the most knowledgeable about Pokemon, but I know a lot of people like it. So I said, you know what? Let's cover it. Throughout the week, we have clips from the Q&A show that are from a few months ago that we released them in short, bite-sized pieces. And we have shorts as well sometimes. But so much content. So that's why you have to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know every time that we go live and drop new content. And if you want exclusive content that you will not find anywhere else, you got to go to techcoachdrive.dev. And you can also sign up for one-on-one coaching to work with me, and we can run it up together. All right. So shout out to all of that information. So the plan for today, I am going to give you a quick recap of what we did last week so that you can understand what we're jumping into today. And then we're 20-minute working segments, and then we have 5-minute breaks. In the breaks, I want to talk about the time change that just happened last night. I want to talk about my guy Justin, the test lead, who he just released a video, I think it was today, talking about his interview experience at Amazon. I just want to give some comments and some feedback about it. I really highly encourage you guys to go check out his video so he can share his experiences. But I just had some comments and feedback about what he mentioned in the video, which is really good. And then lastly, just a reminder that we are going to be going live tonight with some of my friends from Jiu-Jitsu to review my match that I had 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Yep. So that's that. All right. So that's the plan for today. Let's get into it. All right. So I'm going to put, let me see, anything else up? We're good to go. We are good to go. I am going to put the first 20-minute segment that we're going to start to work, and I'll give you a quick recap of what we did last week, and then we're going to be doing today. We're going to get into what we're going to do today. All right, so let's get to it.
It's time to do.
Alrighty then. So last week, what we ended up doing, which we're going to do this today as well, we logged into Google Developer Console. And then we did some research on how to set up the database, the NoSQL database for Google Firebase. And then, which we will eventually Terraform. That we didn't do that last week, and we're not going to do that this week, but eventually we'll get back to Terraform, and we will Terraform all of our configuration. We researched how to deploy Node.js Express API to Firebase. We researched how to deploy, and how to build and deploy React app to Firebase, which is what our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data is built with. We also built the Docker image for the API, right? So where we got stuck last week was pushing the image to Google. So we're going to continue working on that. We're going to start the Docker container. We're going to work on starting the Docker container for the API on Google, and we have to pass the variable for the database, which I don't even have that yet. So we'll look around that. And then we're going to work on it, like as time permits, right? We have 2 hours for the show. As time permits, we will build the Docker image for the UI, for the React front end, and then we'll push that image to Google Cloud once we figure out how to do it for. See, and that's the beauty about this, right? Once you figure out, like, so right now we're having a little bit of trouble pushing the image, the Docker image for the API to Google, right? But once we figure it out for the API, it's gonna be a piece of cake to do it for the UI, right? And that's how we continue to build upon our learning. I can't stress it enough. Go out there, make mistakes, and those mistakes are going to teach you lessons for the future, right? I would rather make the mistakes here on live with you guys, and I'd rather you guys make the mistakes at home or with me, like, whatever, instead of when it's on the line and you try to do it on the job and you make mistakes and then you're taking a bunch of time and you're costing them a bunch of money, right? So that's why I love doing this show. I love doing all these shows because I get to learn with you, and I get to make mistakes in a controlled, quote unquote, safe environment, being that it's YouTube. But I don't care what people say. I couldn't care less what people say about my learning process, right? So with that being said, all right, so then after we push the image to Google, then we're going to start the container for the UI as well and pass the environment variable for the API to connect to that, all right? So that is the plan. Let's get to it. I'm gonna go to this screen here. All right, let me move that over here and that over here. All right, so we're going to go to console.google, and it's gonna take us to something over here, which is not what we want. All right, there we go. Still feeling a little bit under the weather. Not as bad as I was feeling yesterday and Friday, but still a little bit under the weather. But we are not going to miss. So you're working in the Urban Dictionary Economic Data. Let's see the dashboard. Let's see our enabled APIs and services. Let's see, what do we have enabled? I think we need to find Firebase though. Let's see, Firebase. I think it's this one right here. All right, there we go. So here goes our collection, and we have something added to it. All right, so we're logged in. And now we need to actually work on pushing the push the Docker image up to all right, let's see. So this is saying, all right, so enable the API, install the SDK. So let's make sure our API is enabled. Let's go to Cloud Run admin API, run stateless HTTP containers on a fully managed environment. So if you're looking at over here, it says Cloud Run API. When prompted, select your Firebase project and click enable on the Cloud Run API. So Cloud Run admin. Is there a difference between Cloud Run API and Cloud Run admin? Cloud Run API. Looks like it's the only one. Well, let's enable it. You can always disable it if that's not the right one that we need. Or I can just click on this one to make sure. Oh, I don't want to do that. Why would you not have it open in a new tab? I never understand why people don't have things open in new tabs. All right, so let's click this one. Yep, that's the one that we wanted. Perfect. All right. So now they say initialize, initialize the cloud SDK, which I think we did that. Check the G-Cloud tool is configured for the correct project. All right. So we are going to get a terminal. I got way too many terminals, apparently. Let's close some things out. All right, let's go to... All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to go to this other screen. And we're going to type in G-Cloud. And I have never used the Google command line stuff. So, all right, there we go. So like I'm learning this for the first time because I said, you know what, let's do it on Firebase. So updates are available for some Google Cloud CLI components. To install them, please. All right, let's go ahead and update these real quick. G-Cloud components update to help improve the quality of this product. Let's go with a no. All right. All right, so that's done. So let's do that other command again. G-Cloud config list. And all right, so we have disable usage reporting account, and we have the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. All right, so let's clear that out. Okay, so if we go back over here, it says write the sample application. Well, we already have an application, so we don't need to do that. What language are they writing this in? Or they're writing this in Go because that is one of Google's languages. So let's continue. All right, containerize it. We already have it containerized. And now build your container image. So this is the part we need to look into, right? Build your container image using cloud build by running the following command from the directory containing your Docker file. Oh, I see, says the blind man. They want you to do it from the directory that's containing your actual Docker file. So if we go into over here, and we have our Docker file. Well, wait, nope, this is the wrong one. This is the front end app. Let's go to the API. And we'll just use this window for now. And this is the work that we're working on the other day. Let's close, close, close. So this is the Docker file that we created the other day. And we are going to say G-Cloud run, because our Docker file is right here in the root directory of the folder. So deploy, and then -- image, and then I guess grc.io/project ID. I suppose that would be, actually no, I'm right. I'm using the wrong command. It would be G-Cloud builds submit -- then grc.io. I think we did this last time, but let's see what happens. And then we have the name of the project. So let's do this one again. G-Cloud list. I'm gonna copy the project name or ID, whatever they want to call it, and I'm going to paste that in. What is this? All right, let's start that over again. So G-Cloud submit or builds submit -- grc.io/. Let's try to copy that over again. Copy, paste, And then, why do they call it hello world? Let me see, Docker PS or Docker images. And the top image is going to be this one. Why did they call it hello world? So let me go back over here real quick. I want to see why they're calling it hello world instead of hello world, containerize. Let's see. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna call it the same thing over again. All right, so we're just gonna call it the same thing over again, and let's try to send it and see what happens. Maybe it didn't work last time because we didn't have gcloud enabled. That's possible what happened last time. Note that, so it says, note that the container image is now stored in container registry and can be reused if desired. Note that instead of cloud build, you can use a locally installed version of Docker to build your container locally. All right, so we already have it locally, but we wanted to build on, that's different. That is different though, because I know on AWS, you can actually just have your image stored there, but I guess this is a little different, but whatever. Let's see what happens. So invalid tag value. Tag must be in the grcio or package dev namespace. Okay, so we did run into this last time. I wonder why this just gives us grc. So let's go and look over here for what we should be using. Let's see. Actually, I think we need this maybe. Let me see. Where did we find this last time? Let's see. Where did we find this last time? Let's go to here. Let's see, cloud run. Let's go here. Let's go to manage. And we should be looking for, let's see. Where is the, I don't think it's credentials. Where did we see this last time? All right, so let's do this. Let's take the error message that it's giving us. And see where we can find it. So invalid image name in cloud build when using domain. All right, so where do I find this information? So grcio my project, invalid tag Docker hub. That's what I have though, isn't it? Because it does not start with. Oh, it's because I'm an idiot. Just because I'm an idiot. So if we go back to here, I made a typo. It's GCR, Google Cloud Runtime or something, GCR, not GRC. So let's try it again. Okay, something's happening. Something is happening. There we go, look at that. It says all right, so uploading tarball of that and API Cloud build, GoogleAPI.com, not enabled. On project, would you like to enable and retry? This will take a few minutes. Yes, let's enable it. That's what we're trying to do. And it finished successfully. And then we got an error. And then we got an error. So it says, all right, so operation finished successfully of enabling it, but then failed precondition and invalid bucket. Service account, yada yada, does not have access to the bucket. What? All right. Well, I guess we'll start to Google that. Let's see. Let's look that up. But this is the way that you figure things out. Every single error you get, you just Google the error and it tells you what's wrong and how to fix it. All right, so let's go over to back to Google. Invalid bucket error in cloud. Failed to create cloud build. Let's see. Let's try this one first. Encountering invalid bucket error in cloud. My cloud previously functioned without explicitly configuring buckets, but let's see. I wonder if I let's see, storage build. Let's see, invalid bucket. There was a problem where new projects do not yet successfully run a build in Google Cloud Build are failing. You can do the following workaround. If your project does not have a compute service account, try enabling Google Compute Engine API in your project to create service account. This should result your builds work. All right, I guess we can try that. So Google Compute Engine, let's try that. Got me enabling a bunch of stuff. Google Compute Engine. Let's try that one. Does not have access to the bucket. I guess it. So once we get that done, then we have to come to this over here. Let's see. It's taking some time. Let's see. Okay, all right, let's see. Wow, that's really taking some time over here. Refresh it. Oh, seriously? I wonder if that's even what the problem is, to be honest with you. Let's duplicate. Oh, wait. Okay, so it's enabled now. Let's see what this buckets thing is. Jeez. Okay. So there goes the bucket. Permissions. See who has permission. So
Lunch break. Lunch
this is
break.
the account that I have, so it should have permission. Let me see. Well, we'll try it again. Maybe it didn't have permission at the time, but we'll try it again. But first, we are going to go to break. So we are at our first break here today. What in the world is going on over here? Why is it Oh, okay, never mind. I saw the wrong countdown. Okay, we are at our first break. Thank you guys so much for tuning in wherever you're watching from, whether you're watching on X, whether you are watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you are watching on Twitch. I really, really appreciate you all for tuning in today. And I wanted to, we just had the time change. We just had the time change last night over here in the United States. And just curious, like, what do you guys think about the time change? I like the time change always messes me. Let me put our back to work timer on. The time change always messes me up. But especially when like the time change that just happened last night, that one is actually better for me than the other one. Because at least now I end up waking up early and I can get like I wake up early with this type of time change and I get to like do other stuff. Like I woke up so early today that I was feeling sick yesterday. So when I was trying to record the video for tomorrow's Candid Conversation, it was tough because like my mind was clogged and everything like that, and I was stuffy. Still a little bit stuffy today, but I woke up this morning and I had a coaching call at 6:30 a.m. But I woke up early because the time had changed, and I was like, oh, you know what? I can get this video knocked out, and I was feeling energized. So, but however, when they change the time in like April, that one is so rough for me, and it takes me like almost the whole 6 months to get adjusted to it before they change it right back. I'm not a fan of the time change. I wish I could just like keep it one way or the other instead of like having to change it twice a year, and that just messes me up. I know a lot of people wish they would not change it as well, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean that's my thoughts on the time change. There's no comments. So you know what? You know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do during our break? Because I know there's a lot of things happening today. Your car is flying. I don't know where Mitch is. Where is Mitch? Where is Mitch? You know what? And there is, it's like saying Candyman. It's like saying Candyman. Mitch, I was just about to play your song to bring you in. Says Mitch, you gotta watch Mitch every step like a baby out of a stroller. What's up, Mitch? How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well, Mitch. Hopefully you're doing well up there. And Mitch says, stop complaining. What am I complaining about? Oh, about the time. Yeah, I am complaining. You're right. I am complaining about the time. Darcel says, it doesn't. Oh, let me see if I can make that a little smaller. Sheesh. Maybe I can do it. Can't see it. Darcy says, doesn't bother him as much, but I have some crazy dreams. Had some crazy dreams last night. Oh my goodness. I'd hate to know what you're dreaming about, Darcel. But it says I had some crazy dreams last night. Let's see. That's scary. Crazy dreams are scary. Crazy dreams can be a bit scary at times. Let's see. Where is this? There we go. All right, cool. There we go. Yeah, crazy dreams last night. Well, you made it through. You made it through it. At the end of the day, you made it through. Yeah, we have about a minute left. Mitch is here now, so as we wrap up the break, we are going to play Mitch's song, Catch These Hands of Love. Where is it? There we go. I'm just waiting for you to get here, Mitch, so I can play it.
Yo, my boy Mitch, we don't always see eye to eye, but in the ring of life, he's my ride or die. Throwing shade with his threats, catch his hands and shouts. But trust me, it's love he's packing, not just about. We banter like kings, no one's backing down. Throwing punches, but it's all from the heart. In this crazy world, we're always a team. Best friends forever, with a shared dream. Mitch and me, man, we're living the theme. We chop up the data, make those numbers dance. Talking tech battles, man, we take our stance. Chicago PD, yeah, we're the squad on the lane. Fighting like Ricky and Cal, bringing glory and pain. But win or lose, we're never apart. Throwing punches, but it's all from the heart. And it's crazy how we're always a team. Best friends forever, with the shared dream. Mitch and me, man, we're living the theme. So here's to us, a bond that won't fade. In the ring of the streets, we've got it made.
We move on, back to work. Chop, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
Let's go! Let's go!
Ha! Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. I forgot I was muted while your song was playing. Got it. Appreciate it. All right, cool. So let's get to our next 20-minute segment. So I see here that we have our user here. That should be there. So we're just gonna try to run that again. All right, let's go back over here. And let's let's go here and let's try it again, see what happens. So it's uploading. Oh, it looks like it's happening. It looks like it's happening. Oh. Okay. So what I'm learning now is that and they might Google might have another way of doing this as well, where you can just push your image straight there. But at least with the Google Cloud Run, it's going to build your image from your machine onto Google directly. So you're not just pushing up an existing image. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we're just gonna go with that for now. Let's go to this screen now, and let's go to objects. If we go in source, and let's see what we have in here. I guess that's fine. I don't know. Maybe it did get uploaded the first time. Who knows? Because we have one at 320 and one at 333. But yeah, I don't know. Let's continue. It's there, so that's what's important to us right now. All right, let's go to back over here. And it says to, so let's go back up here. All right, so now step 3, deploy the container image to cloud. So we're gonna do G cloud run deploy image and then this over here. All right. When prompted, select a region, confirm the service name, for example. Respond Y to allow unauthenticated invocations. Not sure what they're talking about there, but let's give it a try and see what happens. All right. Let's go to, let's clear this out, and we're gonna do G cloud run deploy, And that should be, I guess, like starting the Docker container. GCR this time, not the other thing. We're going to take this and we're going to say here, and then we're going to go here and here. All right. And let's do it. Service name. I'm just going to put the same thing, I guess. Enter a numeric choice or text value must exactly match list item. We want US. I guess we'll go with US. I think we should be going with US East 4 though, because that's the one that we did last time. All right. This makes the default region gcloud config set to US East 4. Allow unauthenticated invocations. I'm gonna go with no. Or well, they said respond Y, so I'll go with Y, I guess. And I can always tear it down afterwards, but it's okay. So deploying new service, creating revision. Oh, you know what? See, that's the tricky part, because when running it, I should be passing in the information to connect to the database, but it didn't even ask me that. We'll come back. We'll research that over again to see. But let's see what happens. Let's see if it gets started up, or let's see if it gets an error. Let's just see what happens, honestly. Mitch is asking, where is Alexis? Is she still hiding? It might be that she is getting flown back home. You know, she might be getting flown back home. I don't know, Mitch. I'll let her know that you're asking for her. What on my calendar? Do any of you guys have Tuesday off of work? All right, this is still going. Setting up so it's creating the revision now, routing the traffic. But yeah, one thing I'm not sure about is how do you set the environment variable for the database? That'll be the next thing that we research, because if we can't get the well, I mean, I'm sure we can, but we can't go further until we have it connected to the database, right? So let's see. Container failed to start. All right, so let's see. Is not ready and cannot serve traffic. The user provided container failed to start and listen on the port defined provided by port 80. Environment variable with an allocated timeout. This can happen when container port is misconfigured or if the timeout is too short. The health, I think they're missing an H here. The health check timeout can be extended. Logs for the revision. All right, so let's take a look at the logs. Just click that. Oops. I like logs because logs tell you what's going on. So let's see over here. Let's see what's going on here. So new preferences time, yada yada yada. We tied up the all right. So so it failed because, or part of the reason that it failed is because it was trying to connect to the database that is not there. Why would it try to connect to this one though? Because it should. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, let's. A couple of things we're gonna have to do apparently. this is probably hard coded in there. We have to fix that. But cool, perfect. So kind of like what I was expecting to happen, did happen. But also, if we look at, if we go back over here into our code, we probably have, I guess models maybe? Not models. It's not models. I guess it's main maybe? Yep, this right here needs to be externalized into an environment variable so that we can pass that into our, okay, so let's do this. None of these passwords actually matter anyways because these are all local files, but we're gonna do database URL or database connection, and we go like that. And now inside of here, we're going to say, let's go with process dot, or is it lowercase? Process dot env dot database URL, or no, it's database connection. All right, database connection. All right. So now we would have to pass. All right, so we need to start that over again. Let's go ahead and we are going to do the build over again, because now that we fixed that, we have to do the build over again so that we can pass in the, do I need to put any, I don't think so, but let me check the other project to see how we did that. Let's see here. Docker file. No? All right, cool. So we have that. Oh, where's my mouse? All right, so we go to here. Don't need that. So we have this. All right, so now we're going to research. Well, first we're going to build this back up. So Google Cloud build, let's do latest maybe. All right, so now that build is happening. While that build is happening, let's go and let's say how to pass environment variable into gcloud run command. All right, so to pass an environment variable into a gcloud run command, use the -- update environment vars flag followed by the variable name and its value. So like this, when deploying your Cloud Run service, for example, gcloud run my service -- okay, got it. All right, so now the next question is, how do we find our Firebase connection string? Okay, so Firestone database. Let's see, usage maybe. How do you connect to it? Let's see. Maybe data connect. Connect your app to your Postgres database with a powerful managed app server. Not exactly that one. Let's see, Firestone database. So you click on, let's see what's, let's see. Well, let's do a Google search on that. How do you connect your Firestone to gcloud run command? Let's try that one. Let's, or Firestore. Or I can say, what is the connection string for Firestore database? Let's see. Let's see. So Firestore. Let's see. Set up your development environment. Add data. Read data. Secure data. Where's the connection string though? Where is that connection string? Let's see. Prototype and test. So we have our data in there. Read data. So to use the Firebase, all right, we got that. Authentication. Locked mode. Let's see. Build doc. Wait a second. Let's go back real quick. All right, let's go back. How to connect cloud Firestore database with .NET. Let me see. Okay. But how do I know? How can I connect to a non-default Firestore database? Where is that one? Data connect. Let's see. Let's see. Because we have it built, but before we start it, we need to like, so now we know how to start it and everything like that, but we need to know what is the, like how to connect to it. Let's see, Cloud Firestore. Okay, let's see if we go here. Let's say we go to get started. What happens with that? Wait a second, this says public preview. So that can't be it. But it just gives me the database though. That's not what I want. See usage, data, disaster recovery. Let's go and take a look over here. And let's do Fire Store. No SQL. Okay. Actions. Nope. Don't want to delete it. But if I click here, it's just going to take, okay, no. Okay. Let's still see what's going on. Indexes, time to live, security rules. How do you database ID? I don't see how we're supposed to connect to this database. All right, let's do a Google or G Cloud run.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
Or I can do how to connect app to Firestore database. So add data. You can also connect your app to Firestore emulator by yada yada yada. Anyways, we're gonna go to break. We are going to go to break. We'll come back and we will continue with that. Now we know that we know how to push an image to the Google repository, how to run the container, but now we just need to figure out what the heck is the connection string for the database. All right, so cool. We are on break. Let's see. Let me put up our 5 minutes and let's see what we have in the chat. So Mitch is looking for Alexis, and Mitch called me a weirdo. That was uncalled for, Mitch. That was uncalled for. All right. Quick topic, a quick hit. I was watching a video that the test lead had posted today. The test lead, Justin, real cool. I've done some shows with him before on his channel, some interviews on his channel. But he posted that he had interviews with Amazon, and he's like, it was a really good video. I would highly encourage you to look it up. But he was talking about how he interviewed with Amazon, and they flew him out to the headquarters in Seattle for a full day in-person interview, and how it went, like the different people that he met with, the behavioral questions that they asked him, as well as the technical interviews that they asked him as well. And it was really interesting, his feedback. A lot of the things that he says, I share the same sentiment and thoughts, but that how the interviews were like, although he didn't end up getting the position because they went with somebody who had like more experience than him, but it was a great experience overall because they pretty much exposed some things that he was lacking in the way that he would code, and in the way that he would code, as well as efficiency and some other stuff that even I'm not too familiar with, right? But what happened was when he went through the whole process, it revealed to him some things that he needs to work on, which is pretty much why I do all this here, because it shows you continuing to learn. And although he was able to do, although he was able to do it right, they said that you did it right, but you could do it better. You can do it with less code, make it cleaner, have like pretty much clean code, and how he took that learning experience to apply it to another interview that he went on afterwards, where he got the offer on the spot because it was a similar type interview, but because Amazon helped him prepare, that he was able to excel in this new interview that he had for a startup and get the job on the spot. So like I always tell you, don't be afraid to have conversations with people. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to interview. Like if someone wants to talk to you, then talk to them. What's the worst that they can say? No. So keep going, right? Like, but the experience that you get is very, very important. One of the people that I'm coaching, he's been at the company he's like where he's currently working at for like 10 years now, but he wants to go to a different place and wants to go to a different opportunity. And he had his first interview last week after 10 years. And I encouraged, like, whatever happens, happens, but just go out there and get those reps and get that experience. It's something you haven't done in so long. And, he told me that, like, he thinks he messed up on some questions, but, I'm like, they didn't reject you yet. So just go out there and, like, once you're done with the interview, you move forward. Like, you don't harp on the past, like, oh, this happened, that happened. You just keep going. Like, now he has 2 more interviews lined up in the same day. He just finished his resume like a week and a half ago, and he put it out there, and now he's getting contacted over and over and over again. So he knows his stuff. But usually that first interview that you go on, you probably won't get it because there's so many bugs that you have inside of you that you're not sure yet, so many butterflies. So that, but now, like, so many great opportunities are coming out of that. So, like I tell you, don't be afraid to have a conversation. You never know what's going to happen, because sometimes you might apply for a job, but they really like you and what you have on there. So like they might not want you for that particular job, but because of what you've done in the past, because of how you market yourself, they can actually say, oh, we actually have this other position that's open that we want to fill you in for as well. So definitely keep that in mind. But you just got to go out there and do the work. Like the same way like Justin, the test lead, he went through the whole process for Amazon. Spent a day, like 5 different interviews.
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
Speaking with like 5 different people, and they and at the end of the day, like, Amazon, they pass on him this time. That doesn't mean in the future that they won't bring him back in, but he'll be more prepared. But that opportunity, that experience helped him to find another opportunity. All right. So let me see what my friend in the chat has to say before we move on to our last segment of the show. Mitch is probably going to say that he hates Amazon, but it says, if a company flies you out, let me see. It says, if a company flies you out, that doesn't mean you got the job. Why waste the money? It doesn't mean that. It means that they want to interview you in person, and maybe that's their style. Maybe like the way that they interview, they have you speak face to face to a bunch of people to see if you're going to be a good fit for the team, for the company, and to see, what's your coding style, I guess, if that's the type of work that you're doing. But it doesn't automatically mean that you get the job. It means that they really want to talk to you in person. That's all that it means. There is nothing guaranteed until you actually have the offer letter signed and approved, and you're starting your first day of work, right? So, I remember like at one company that I was at, we were interviewing somebody, and we flew them to interview. I mean, we flew them to interview, and we ended up not going with them. We actually think we flew 2 people. Did we fly 2 people? We might have flown 2 people to interview, and we ended up going with one of them. So it doesn't mean anything. Just because they fly you out, it doesn't mean anything. Mitch, it's just like this. It's just like this. If you fly somebody out, it doesn't guarantee that anything is going to come out of that, right? Remember that. Remember that. The same way, if the company flies you out, but you don't work for them, it doesn't mean that they're going to hire you. The same way, if you fly somebody out to spend some time with them, it doesn't mean that anything's going to come out of that either, right? So, which is, I gotta stop ignoring recruiters myself. What made him want to leave after 10 years? Surprised, wasn't nervous. Just tired of where he's at, what he's doing. He wants to get back to doing some other stuff that he's really good at, but he hasn't been able to use that for the past few years, I guess. It just sounds like me. Know my stuff. Somebody asked me something, I don't know what I'm talking about. Psych. Mitch says that we are not friends. I tried. Mitch says that's dumb to me. It's dumb to fly people out. I mean, Mitch, they have a budget, right? They have a budget, so they have to use it. They have to use the budget, all right? Says, and he probably had to move to Seattle since they're going back to 5 days. Actually, no. It looks like Amazon has a office in New York, so he was going to be working out of the New York office, but they flew him to Seattle to headquarters to have the interview. So looks like it would have been all right. We got my guy in the building. What's up, your car, Mr. Technique in the building. Are you still in the ATL, your car, or are you back home in the great, or maybe not so great, state of California? How is it going? How's it going, your car? Happy to see you as always. Let's see. Mitch says, I'm trying to fly somebody out. Good luck. Just landed back in LA. I'm going back to Cali. I hope that doesn't get copywritten. I'm just saying, that was me on the ones and twos. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Let's get to our last-ish segment. It looks like we're going to be done a little bit early today, but let's get to it. So we are still trying to figure out.
It's time to do.
We are still trying to figure out how to connect our app, like pretty much how to connect to a Firestore database, right? Which is weird, but all right. There's one on Reddit, so let's check out the one on Reddit. Let's try this one. Is it possible to connect an existing Firestore database to a Firebase project? When I create a project in the Firebase console, I see an option to create a Firestore database, but I don't see an option anywhere to connect to an existing database. Is this possible? Let me see. Let's see. I don't see a connection string. Like maybe we can't use Firestore. I don't know. Because it looks, I don't know, it's kind of dumb, but like what's the point of the database if you can't do anything with it? All right, let's see. So how to create and connect to a Firestore database in an Express app. Okay, that's what we want. So we have npm, npm install Firebase admin. If this is what it's going to be, this is not going to work for us. Next, we need to create a Firebase project. Get Firestore. It's not going to work out well. Let's see. Service accounts. Let's see. Process. All right. So database URL. See that? Initialize app database URL. Where do I get this database URL from? In order to initialize your apps with admin privilege, you need to initialize your app this way. So there is a database. All right, let's see what this is right here. Storage bucket, Firebase config. Let's see. Generate new private key. DB get Firestore. Huh. I don't like this method. I do not like this method at all. So if I'm understanding correctly, then does Firebase not have like, or Firestore? Is it that you have to? That's one thing I am not going to do. I am not going to have Firebase take over my app. See, get Firestore right here. That's ridiculous. Create database. Let's do one last search, and then if that's the case, I'm just gonna use a different database because this is crazy. It's like, it's like Firebase is taking over your whole app. That is such bad development practices, if I'm understanding correctly. Does Firebase have a database URL for app? You can find your real-time database URL in real-time database section of the Firebase console. Depending on the location of the database, the URL will be in the following form. Okay, connect your app to Firebase, create database. So we need a real-time database instead? Well, let's try that. Let's go here. So real-time database. Say create database. So maybe we'll try that. Let's try the real-time database instead. Okay, US Intro 1. Next. Thought we had done this, but apparently not. Let's say enable. All right, so now we have a URL for our database. Okay. What now? Let's see. I guess this would be the S, right? So we have that. Let's say create database. All right, let's see. Hold on. So real data connect. Let's go back to real-time database. What is this? What exactly is this? Let's create database. Oh, okay, so I guess we didn't create the database. I don't know. This is weird. All right, so done. So what did we just do then? Hold on, I'm so confused. Let's go here. Okay. So we have two databases now. We'll definitely want to delete one of them. But now that I'm here, what do I do with it? Well, let's delete the second one. Let's delete that. And what is this? Oh, okay. So, all right. So, gotta do this over. All right. Let's see. Let me open up my. Can I just copy it? Go import JSON. Drag JSON file here to preview. Can I just put in an object? All right, let me see. All right, I guess we'll do what we did last week over again. Just open up my Mongo. See if this is working. So we are going to take okay. Let's just take this first one. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Should not have had to do this, but whatever. That's not correct. This is not correct. Let me see. Okay, now add say economic data, weekly jobless claims. I don't. This is so weird. Hold on. Let me see something. Let's export data. Export the full collection. JSON export. Okay. Let's go to delete all that. Let's see. Let's just do import JSON. And we will, where did this export to? Documents. Let's say we drop that, drop to replace. Let's see what happens. Keys cannot be empty. All right, so I guess we got to figure out how does this real-time database work? Let's see. Firebase real-time database, store and sync data. Sourcing data with our NoSQL Cloud database. Data is synced across all clients in real time and remains available when your app goes offline. The Firebase. Database name. Okay. Learn how to structure your data. How do I add it though? Let's do this. Let's not even add something in here. So let's say we have let's say we just copy. Let's say we have that, right? So now if we go back to, we're gonna use, where is that I found? We're gonna use this one, right? So let's see what happens. We're gonna go back over here and we're gonna do this one, the gcloud run, and then we're going to say update env vars, and we'll do what do you call it, database connection equals this. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. That's correct. We are doing it in, I guess we could do it in US Central 1, I guess, because that is where the database is, so why not? And said yes to allow that. But keep in mind, this is how we learn this stuff, is how we figure it out. We beat ourselves so that we can learn this stuff. So copy URL and let's go over here, paste that. And it says invalid scheme, expected connections to start. Fair enough. Yeah, it should start with Mongo. Fair enough. That is fair point. If you're going to be using Mongo and Mongoose, it should start with this instead of HTTP. So let's see if we can do, can you connect to Firebase real-time database as Mongoose database? Let's see. You cannot directly connect Firebase real-time database as Mongoose. Firebase real-time database as a cloud hosted NoSQL offers. Yeah. Am I right? How to integrate? If you want to use MongoDB with data from Firebase, you can migrate the data using tools like Airbyte, an open source data integration platform that offers connectors for both Firebase and Mongoose. Let's see how to load data. All right, so how to use MongoDB on Google Cloud Platform. Now I see why people choose Amazon over Google. So there is so to use Mongo, you can enable a cloud MongoDB API, set up an Atlas cluster. Oh, got it. I mean, if that's the case, um, if I just have to use MongoDB anyways, or can I use Mongoose on Google Cloud Platform? Connecting Mongoose on Google App Engine. Yes, you can use MongoDB and Mongoose together on Google Cloud Platform. I guess. Let's see. I was trying to avoid having to do that, but we might have to end up using MongoDB again. Let's see. MongoDB compatible NoSQL database. See, that's what I'm trying to look for. It's not confusing. Does not have a wire compatible Mongo solution. Only AWS DocDB and Azure Cosmos offer this. The nearest equivalent to Mongo that is Google
Lunch
Cloud.
break. Lunch break.
The nearest equivalent to Mongo that is Google Cloud Platform native is Firestorm or Datasaur. But they have far more limited query engines than Mongo. If you want Mongo, your best options to use Atlas or host your own compute engine. Well, so your option to use Google Cloud is to highly tie your application to Firebase, which does not sound like a winning strategy to me. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. Like we could still, I mean, what we can do, we can put the database on Atlas. Let me see. I can log into that real quick. So inside of Mongo Atlas, we would have to create another project and then have to allow access to Google Cloud Platform. I guess we could do that. Let me see something. New project. Project name. Yep. All right. Well, Let me see how much time we have left. Might as well create it now, right? Let's create it. Urban Dictionary. Economic data. And we'll go with next. Create project. Create a cluster. For learning and exploring MongoDB in a cloud environment. Or can I do like serverless? Let me see. 8 cents an hour adds up. Yeah, serverless. So we did last time, serverless. Or I could do, I don't think I need more than 512. But I think there was a limitation to this. We'll go with this, whatever. I do know that we weren't able to do I forgot what it was called. We weren't able to do I forgot the name of it, but whatever. Let's do Google Cloud. Oh wait, yeah, whatever. Let's do that. All right. Let's go to name. We could always delete it later. TCR. Oh, so it's actually cheaper by a penny on Google. Oh, how much is Azure? So Azure and AWS are the same price. It's cheaper by a penny. UDC. All right, let's go with that. I guess so. Create. Well, I guess we'll change that afterwards. It's only enabled to my IP anyways, but I'll change the password afterwards. Well, actually, I can set this myself. Let's go with tech coach ref. And I will use a password of okay. And I'll copy that. Create database user. Guess we can save that. And I will put that. All right. And choose connection method. Cool. All right, so we have our database created. For the time being, just for now, I'm gonna go and let me go to cluster connect. I am going to much time I have left? 14 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go to let me see, security, network access. So I can, just for the time being, I'm just going to add allow access from anywhere, just for the time being. I'll say for 6 hours. And we are gonna go to clusters, connect, and just in case it puts in some sensitive data, let's go to, okay, perfect. All right, I got the connection string. All right, so I got the connection string. I am going to go into the terminal and I'm going to put the database connects over here. I'm going to put this in here. So let's go to, let's go here. Let me get the password. It's probably going to give a different error this time, but hopefully it'll be able to connect to the database. All right, so where is that? And we're gonna go with enter. Oh, something missing. What's that all about? What? Let's see here. Let's see. Parse error near and. All right, let's just do it this way. Let's put that. And let's go here. Enter. All right. Let's see if we get past this error. So 32. Because if we get past this error, then it's just other configuration that we need to do. But we're in a much better spot. So definitely Google is a lot different than working on AWS. So that's very, very good to know how much different. I mean, there might be some other parts of Google that might be more similar, but working with the, like, it's like we're not even using Firebase anymore. We're not using at all. Honestly, we're deploying our API using Google G Cloud Run. And like, so yeah, basically we're not using anything in Firebase, which is fine with me. I thought Firebase would have been the what we needed to get it done, but apparently not. So, you know, and if anybody is way more knowledgeable than, even a little bit more knowledgeable with Google Cloud than I am in Firebase, then if I'm missing something, please reach out to me and let me know, and I can make the necessary adjustments. But so far, it is a lot more. So far, AWS for me makes a lot more sense than using Google Cloud Platform and Firebase. But I do know that Google Cloud is definitely used more for big data type stuff. So, Let's see. Well, it's taking longer than before, so I think that's a good sign. So I ended up having to put quotes around the what do you call that thing? I had to put quotes around the connection string for to connect to Mongo. But let's see. Let's see. It's taking its sweet time. So, I mean, for me, the longer it takes, the better it seems. Um, we can start reading the comments as we wait for this. But Mitch asked if I have heard from Ferris negative ghostwriter. I have not heard from Ferris. He's probably out there working his 10 to 20 jobs. He says that's why people try to learn all these different systems at once. It's impossible to learn them all at once. Um, once Google, Amazon, Oracle, Azure, but you can't. When people say learn how to use one and the others are basically the same, apparently they're not basically the same. Because I was working with one of the people that I'm coaching on Azure, and it is totally different than AWS. And as we can see here with Google Cloud Platform, that's totally different than AWS and Azure. So I think that after you learn one, the concept becomes easier, but it's still going to be still a learning curve to know how to navigate those different platforms. So I totally agree with you, Mitch, on that. I totally agree. Wow, this is taking a sweet, precious time. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let me see. If we go over to here, it tells us that. Oh, wait, it failed. It ended up failing. But it tells us that like there has been a little bit of traffic, but not sure what type of traffic it is in particular. Let's go over here and let's just see what failed this time. Let's if at least we got a little bit further, then that's okay with me. If not, then we'll just pick it up next week and try to connect it to this Atlas cluster. All right, let's go over to here and paste that. And connect. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. It actually connected to the database. It actually connected to the database. You better thank a union member. You better thank a union member. All right, so that's good. Connected to the database. Default startup. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Oh, on port 8080. This is not supposed to start on port 8080. So, all right, so next week we're going to be working on how to, I don't even know, like on, we're gonna have to figure out how Google connects to like the ports and stuff like that, like when it's starting up an application. But we made progress. We got past connecting to the database, which we had to totally pivot to start using Mongo Atlas because we're using the MERN stack. And I don't want to be highly coupled with Firebase in case I want to go to a different place. Because we could take this to DocDB or Azure, as mentioned, or any other place that it does Mongo hosting. But yeah, so I think we're in a good spot. This is the error that we got. So we'll continue with this part, or this is the one, I guess. Port 8. So for some reason, just trying to do on port 8080. We'll see how we can we'll see how we can work around that. All right. Anyways, that's it for today. Let's go back to full screen. And thank you guys for tuning in. Let me check the chat before we wrap up for the day. Let's see. Mitch says exactly not the same. You know what? I don't like this. All right, I'll fix that later. And it says problem is if you want a job and only know GCP, but the job app says Oracle, etc. That is true. That is true. I do wonder though, if you do know like Google or AWS or Oracle or whatever, if you know one of them, how hard is it to ramp up to the other one? You might not be an expert, but is it that hard to figure it out compared to somebody who doesn't know anything at all? That's what I wonder. And let's see. Let me see. Cool. Those are the comments, and we have a reminder. The final thoughts, right? So we are going to be going live tonight around 8:15-ish Eastern time. Me and a couple of my jiu-jitsu buddies, we're going to be reviewing my match from about 2 weeks ago that I had in Fort Lauderdale. And we'll watch it. We'll have some feedback. I'll do a self-analysis, and we'll have a grand old time like we normally do on the channel. But yeah, so that's about it for today. We are going to wrap it up. But on our way out, let me see. Let me get that off the screen. Mitch says, not as hard when you have the basics, just different system. Yep. Like, I'll tell you this. Let's say I'm very familiar with AWS, and then I go into a company that I got to work on Google Cloud, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be like the same thing. It is. Like, it's totally different. And I would actually be kind of bothered because it's not a one-to-one, like the same thing that I can do on AWS. I don't see it as I don't see a direct correlation that I can do it on Google Cloud Platform. I do see it a little bit on Azure, but I don't know. I think the uses for Google Cloud is a little bit different than and that's how people pick, like based on the uses, right? So, Mitch says, I got questions. I will see you tonight, Mitch. I will see you tonight. Says, don't be nervous. I am never nervous. I just roll with the punches. I just roll with the punches. You know how we do. You know how we do over here, Mitch. All right. So you guys know on the way out, I have a question for you as always. The question is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
did you have a good time working with me today as we troubleshooted and then pivoted from our original database back to our Mongo Atlas database? You know how we do. It is what it is. It is what it is. Mitch says, just like Excel and BigQuery aren't the same, similar, but not the same. I've never even used BigQuery, so definitely we'll check that out. In honor of Mitch, one of these days we'll check out BigQuery to see what it is. And you know what, Mitch? I do have a question for you though, which you don't have to. We can answer that on, I don't know, Tuesday or whatever. But how did you get into data? How did you get into data? To all the data stuff that you do? How did you get in there? Right? Just curious, because people want to know. People want to know because I come across people who are interested in data. So, and you are my number one data person and best friend. So I just was curious how you got into data. All right. But you guys know that yesterday's price is not today's price, and today's price is certainly not tomorrow's price because we have an election looming, and the price of eggs and everything else might skyrocket. The price of energy might double instead of being cut in half. It depends on how that goes. But we are going to be live on Tuesday night, election or not. We still have work to do.
Real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
And on that note, we got to wrap it up. So with that being said, you guys, like I said, you guys know what it is.
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of everything is going up. So we shall see. All right. That being said, I am going to get out. Mitch says, don't threaten me with a good time. That's what I'm talking about. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. You know, I love to thread Mitch, right? I love to thread Mitch, whether it's with a good time or a bad time. It is what it is. It is what it is. But with that being said, I am going to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. I will see you guys tonight. Remember, I will see you guys tonight. Remember, the coach you need. I am the coach that you need. I am Coach Ralph. We are out.
Tech Coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains. But trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed.
They say they want success, but they don't put in the time. Promises unkept, all this wasted energy's a crime. People with their eyes wide shut, just playing their part. But when it comes to commitment, they ain't got the heart. Tell me what's the point of dreaming big if you don't try? Why don't you wake up, get your dreams in line? You can't keep on waiting, cause it's your time to shine. Don't let the darkness cloud the path that you own. If you want success, then you gotta make it home. I see the potential in them, but they don't understand. Only chasing shadows, never stepping on the land. Words are just reflections, but actions tell the tale. When you want the prize, you gotta break the veil. Success is a road, but oh, it ain't a free ride. Why don't you wake up, get your dreams in line?